Hey friends, it looks like we're having a little bit of trouble with the person who is going to be leading today, having some technical difficulties. So I wanted to come on and do at least a short time of prayer with you today for our 1310 Prayercast. As many of you know, we cannot gather at 1310, our address right now for the church, but doesn't mean we can't gather every day at 1310 military time to pray together and to seek God as we are going through this challenging time in our world. And so wanted to share with you a scripture that I read this morning. It's one of my favorites, and it's something that I think is helpful as we're thinking about going through challenges and not wanting to just go through it and get out the other end, but maybe come out even better on the other end. I heard people wishing we could go back to normal, but normal wasn't always that great. And so I'm looking forward to a new normal where we come out better on the other end. So this is a scripture from Ezekiel 36, verse 26. And this is God speaking to his people. And he says, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. I'll read that again. This is Ezekiel 36, 26. God is speaking to his people, and they were going through a challenging time in their life. And God spoke these words. God said, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. So thinking about as we go through this time, wanting to come out better, not just go back to normal, but come out different, come out better. I'd like to pray with you about what are some ways that God can give us a new heart, that God can fill us with more of his spirit and change us so that we're different and better and more in his image after we come through this challenge than we were before. And so I'm going to just give some space and let you think about what that means for you. What would it mean for you to have a new? What are some of the ways that maybe your heart has grown hard or stubborn? Maybe it's filled with bitterness or jealousy. What would it look like for God to remove a heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh? Let's take a moment, and I'm just going to invite you to think and to pray on your own about what that would look like. So we're praying about inviting God to give us a new heart and a new spirit so that we might be better than we were before we went through this challenging time. The imagery there of having a hard heart, a heart of stone, turned to a heart of flesh, that this softening. One day while I was doing the dishes, I had this visual come to mind of, sometimes the dishes, they're really caked on and it's hard to scrub them off. But if you let them soak in the water, if you let them soak in the soap, then all of a sudden it becomes softer and it's easier to wash away some of the junk that gets collected on the plate. And I thought about prayer like that sometimes we can get pretty hardened and we can have sinful habits and unhealthy ways of living get stuck on us. And it seems like, I just can't get rid of that. And maybe sometimes what we need is to soak in God's spirit. to just spend time resting in God's presence. I often have a hard time with prayer because I want to hear something. I want something to happen. And maybe what needs to happen is I just need to soak. I need to soak in God's presence. I need to soak in God's spirit and allow his presence to make me soft and to be able to wipe away any of the junk that's collecting in my heart or in my life. And so again, I'm gonna give some space, and I invite you not to try to listen for anything, not to try to say anything, but just to soak in God's presence and allow his spirit to soften your heart and to remove the junk that maybe has collected inside of you. So take a few moments and just soak in God's presence. So how was that for you? Is it hard to be still and soak in God's presence? Did you start to think about what you needed to do today, later, or did you have other thoughts? I find that this practice, it takes a little bit of practice to get used to it. I started with 1 minute, and I've grown up to about 10 minutes where I can really just sit and soak in God's presence and be with God. And I would encourage you, if you don't have that habit in your life, maybe try to take some time. Maybe start with 10 seconds and then build it to 15 or 30 or a minute and see if you can spend time. Because like those dishes, if I just dip them in the water and pull them back out, that doesn't work. They need time in there. They need to sit and soak. And I would encourage you to spend as much time as you can soaking in God's presence so that the Spirit can soften your heart, wipe away anything that's unhealthy or unhelpful, so that he can put a new spirit in you and you can be even better today and tomorrow than you were before. So that's my challenge for you. I wanted to let you know too about some upcoming things that might be of interest to you. This weekend, we'll have new service times and service styles. So this weekend, we're going to have both contemporary and traditional worship. Our contemporary service times will be 5:05 p.m. on Saturday and 10:15 a.m. on Sunday. Our traditional service time will be at 9 a.m. on Sunday. And all of these services can be found on the new platform, goodshepherdnaperville.online.church. So again, Saturday, 5:05, Sunday, 10:15 are the contemporary services. Sunday, 9 a.m. is the traditional services, all on goodshepherdnaperville.online.church. Also, on Tuesday, May 12th, we're going to have a special edition of the Prayercast, and we're going to be praying for our police department. Our police have a significant challenge all the time, but even more during this pandemic. And so I've asked some of my friends at the police department to share some of their praises and requests. And so we're going to take some time to pray with and for our police department on Tuesday, May 12th. So would love to have you be a part of that. Thanks so much for spending time with me in prayer today. Again, our theme verse was Ezekiel 36:26. And my challenge is to spend time soaking in God's Spirit so that he can give you a new heart and fill you with a new spirit. I love you, friends. Thanks so much for praying with us, and look forward to seeing you every weekday at 13:10 or 1:10 p.m. We love you. Have a blessed day. Take care.